Today I fucked up by taking a DNA test with my brother. This literally happened yesterday, or at least the conclusion up until now did. Me and my brother took 23andMe tests for fun around Christmas time. When the results came back, it suddenly showed us as being half-siblings. Which, thinking on it now, makes sense as I have dark hair and blue eyes and am relatively thin. He on the other hand has blonde hair and green eyes and is of a stocky build. Confusion aside, we had completely different paternal haplogroups. Now growing up, I never had any clue or reason to believe the man who raised me was not my biological father. So last night I confronted my mother about it. At first it was flat denial and she claimed the test had to be wrong, but after some pushing and prodding she did admit that my real father is not in fact the man who raised me. My real father was a drifter and an alcoholic who was raised in the foster system and who never knew his real family. He wanted me aborted when he found out my mother was pregnant with me. My mother described him as a deeply lost person but also as an extremely intelligent individual, but the foster system left him broken. She apparently tried when I was a baby to let him forge a bond with me, but he had very little urge to do so and eventually threatened to kidnap me and drop me off somewhere. He worked a variety of jobs in the oil industry of Louisiana and later became a worker for carnivals. He died in 2008 when I was 19 from liver damage. Apparently the state wanted me to identify the body at that time, but she stepped in and put a stop to it because he had given up his parental rights when I was young. So now I know who my real father is, but all I have is a name, a date of birth and a date of death, and due to him not knowing any of his family from being raised in foster care, I have no idea if I have any living family on my biological father's side. This kind of saddens me because my entire life I have been very into my heritage and tracing family tree. Too long did not read. Took DNA test and found out my father was never actually my biological father, and my biological father was an alcoholic who wanted nothing to do with me, and I have no way to see if any family remains on that side. Just because he's not your biological father doesn't mean he's not your real dad. Please don't think of him as lesser. He's the man who stepped up and helped raise you. Wait. The state wanted you to identify his body? When you didn't even know him? I have a daughter that came with my marriage, 20 years ago. She was 23 months old at the time. She's 22 now. She is, and always has been, my little girl, and I love her more than my own life. She knows her biological dad, but there's not much of a relationship there. Yesterday she asked me to walk her down the aisle for her wedding. Please go give your real dad a hug and tell him you love him and you're glad that he is your dad. It will mean more to him than you could possibly imagine. I went through the same exact experience 3 years ago. Felt like my world was completely shape-shifted. Then it suddenly made sense why I didn't look like my dad and why I had always felt like a black sheep within my family. I have gone through therapy which helped to make sense of things. And like you, I respect my dad, the one who raised me, even more now. He went the extra mile to have a family. Respect. If you ever want to reach out to chat, feel free to message. That sucks. But, you know, he might have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy. If it was me, I wouldn't let it throw me much. Good odds you've got loads of half-brothers and half-sisters you could find by hanging around with the carnies. There are loads of kind people out there that work tirelessly and for free to try reconnect people with their genetic families. I have had a family member make contact in this way. I would see if there are any Facebook groups connecting families and see if someone could help or point you in the right direction. Good luck. So the man you thought was your dad, what does he say about this? Were they married at the time? Do you have any other half-siblings out there? Or any trace of your bio-dad's ancestry? What do you want to know at this point? Because this is a big deal. Today I fucked up choking a girl in kung fu class. Too long did not read. At the bottom. This happened a couple hours ago. So I'm gonna try and get it out while it's fresh. I recently turned 40 and after some encouragement from my teenager I got back into kung fu. It's been years, but as he sees it. If I get into shape and out of the basic class when he joins the adult class, he will be in class with me. Personally, I think he's waiting for his opportunity to fight his old man, but hey, it's all in fun. So I'm in this class for several weeks as the new guy, except a new student started this week. She a petite younger woman with a solid jab and willingness to learn. There's a group of more experienced students on one side being trained by one of the black belts and we're on the other side. Being that there's just us and the instructor, we practice on each other. Hold pads for each other, and that's been great. Today we were doing practical escapes against different chokes. Now I'm twice this woman's size and I'm close to twice her age. So I was like, hey, if any of this makes you uncomfortable, please speak up. She says thanks and we proceed to choke each other for various defenses. Well, the last one was a straight-on two-handed choke. She makes a joke about how ridiculous this pairing is. I crack one back and then she attacked. I do the move and then we reset and it's her turn. I go on the attack and start the two-handed choke, but instead of doing the maneuver she closed her eyes and moaned. Everything stopped. She's beet red. I am beet red and the entire class is looking at a 40-year-old out-of-shape bald guy. Choking, an obviously embarrassed and slightly aroused young woman in a weird and uncomfortable simulated violent way. I am pretty sure I'll need to find a new place to train. Or at least change the time I go until I can wrap my head around this. Either way, the whole thing made me feel kinda gross. I am super married and it just made me feel off. I am gonna go die now. Too long did not read. Today while practicing practical escapes I put my hands on my partner's neck to choke her and she closed her eyes and moaned instead of executing the escape. Edit. Someone pointed out a detail that needed adding in some words. I'll be waiting for the "today I fucked up" by moaning during Kung Fu class. I literally forgot what sub I was reading until I got to the "I'm super married" part. Haha. My question, what's super marriage like? Is it better than marriage or just like a state of mind? Adding a third F to the fight or flight response. She moaned. You didn't take the guilt off and stay in that class, dude. I feel like that should be more embarrassing on her part. She's the one who got visibly and audibly aroused during practice. You were just training. But I am sure there's several other incidents like this too. I wouldn't sweat it too much. If anyone remembers it next week I'd be surprised. Pretty sure she performed her counter perfectly. The moan caused you to release your choke. She used embarrassment as a knife. Looks like she's the real black belt around there. Well, she got you to release the hold. Sounds like she's a good student. Today I fucked up by accidentally sending my sister hentai. Throwaway because no way in hell do I want any more embarrassment. I, 22M. Accidentally sent my sister, 15F, a very lewd hentai photo and ran faster than light to stop her from seeing it. Now I'm just going to get this out the way. I love hentai. Erotica is a very stimulating thing for me and I collect a lot of hentai because it's hot. I've got hundreds of thousands of hentai pics on my phone that I've amassed for years through Twitter and Reddit. Now the story. Last October I celebrated with my family my half-brother's first birthday. We had a big party and I was in charge of taking photos. A week after the party, I had already sent most of my family all the pictures I took except to my sister. One day I'm coming out the shower and doing all my bathroom shit when my sister texts me asking to send her the photos from my brother's party. So on one hand I'm scrolling through my phone looking for the birthday pics wedged in between thousands of pictures of beautiful anime girls getting plowed by huge dicks in every way imaginable. All the while I'm more focused on putting on deodorant and combing my hair with my other hand. I find the birthday pictures and start selecting them one by one to send. Keep in mind I'm still mostly focused on doing my bathroom stuff as I'm picking each picture. After I feel I got them all, I hit send without checking and finished combing my hair. I looked back at what I sent to see if everything went through. To my utter horror, I see one of the pictures in between the joyful memories of my family celebrating the life of my brother, a picture of Ichino's Asuna with the fattest fucking tits with a throbbing ejaculating cock in between her gargantuan round breasts. I completely lose my shit. My sister barely even knows what anime is, let alone hentai. She was 2 floors below me in the basement and I was still in my towel and wet all over. My survival instincts kick in and I instantly grabbed my shorts without putting on any underwear and hopped to put both my legs through my shorts mid-air and bursted out the bathroom door. I start sprinting down the hallway on my hardwood floor, trying to cut corners as fast as I can while trying not to slip. I start cycling down the stairs like my feet are on fire. It's a race against time. So many questions run through my head in what feels like mere femtoseconds. What will happen if my sister sees the photo? How will my family react at my degeneracy? What unforeseen consequences will I suffer by the hand of my own hubris? Luckily my family doesn't see as I'm sprinting down the house. I get down to the basement and burst through the door like a serial killer savagely looking for his last victim. My sister is on her Chromebook with her phone turned over by her side and jumps in complete confusion and shock at the sight of me completely wet and in my shorts. I'm out of breath but I yell out asking if she looked at her phone. She says no and I plead her not to. I explain that while I sent her the birthday photos I accidentally sent her something very personal that I did not want her to see and I needed to delete it. She was very understanding and was more worried about me rather than whatever it was she thought I sent her. She gave me her phone and there it was. Asuna never looked so happy having jizz all over her, my face in total panic at the sight of it. I deleted the pic on iMessage while apologizing profusely for being so stupid. She told me it was okay and reassured me she didn't see anything. I took her word for it and apologized again before I started my walk of shame back upstairs. I had my eyes glued to the floor in complete embarrassment and was deeply contemplating all of my life choices. Moral of the story. If you've got naughty lewd stuff on your phone that you don't want other people to see, always double check with everything before you send something. Too long did not read. Accidentally sent my sister a very not safe for work hentai photo and ran down 2 flights of stairs while wet and just in shorts to take her phone before she saw the pic and deleted it myself. Edit. Wow. 2,000 plus upvotes. Thank you everyone for enjoying my screw up of a story and for all the awards. I'd like to make a brief explanation explaining a couple of things. The reason why I collect so much hentai is simple. Because it's hot. It gets me horny and turned on and yada yada yada. I've been collecting since I was 12 and it's been growing ever since. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time a family member was exposed to my collection. I used to save hentai pictures on my DSi and my dad found it, but that's a story for another time. I'd like to clarify though that I don't grip the grape to any hentai. I used to only do that to actual porn, but I can't even remember the last time I tried with hentai. A lot of the collection has to do with appreciation. Like I'll see something and go, that's super hot. The colors are super nice and the artist's style suits the characters really well. The poses are cool and dynamic and it's super fucking dirty. So yeah, I see it as no different from all those naked statues and paintings from the Renaissance or something like that. Although I do have my moral lines that I will never cross, so there's a lot of stuff I've seen that's genuinely deplorable and should be condemned. That being said, recently I've cut back a lot of the time I used to spend looking for more hentai as it was taking me away from stuff that really matters. I guess being 22 does that to you. So now I'm working out more and close to graduating college. I feel like one day I'll return to my old habits just to really collect the last of the treasures I have yet to obtain, but only after I'm financially secure to spend time doing it. The epiphany I came up with recently is very simple. No matter how much time I spend away from the internet, the stuff I want from it will always be there, waiting for me to get it when I'm able. However, other, more precious things in life come and go if you don't seize them when they appear. So, everything will come in due time in my eyes. Eventually when I'm in my mid-20s I'll probably stop entirely and release my collection to the internet anonymously. With links to the artists and all to support them and keep these great things seen and appreciated. These things deserve to outlive me, as to me they represent something very humanly erotic and artistic that deserves to be mollified of all the taboo on hentai. Those asking for sauce, it's one of my comment replies below. Also, from those of you asking if I checked my sister's recently deleted folder? I did not. I'm praying to a higher power that she doesn't know where that is and it got deleted after the 30-day period. Good God above, I hope. Last thing. You guys that keep saying Step Bro and Oni-chan are fucking sickos LMAO. Thanks for the good laughs everyone, hope you liked my today I fucked up story. Could be worse. Could have been a dick pic. Bro, hundreds of thousands? It amuses me that you think a 15-year-old with access to the internet hasn't stumbled across hentai at one point or another. See you all on R, copypasta. A picture of Ichino's Asuna with the fattest fucking tits with a throbbing ejaculating cock in between her gargantuan round breasts. Quit being a tease and just post the picture here already. Having this kind of stuff in your phone is just a ticking today I fucked up bomb. So many things that can go wrong. Use computers, people. Not to add insult to injury but your sister might be concerned that you accidentally sent a dick pic now. Shout out to the wholesome sister for giving you the phone. Crisis averted. Unless you didn't delete the photo from her trash. Today I fucked up by confessing to my crush and possibly dodging a bullet. About a week ago I, 16M, confessed my feelings to my crush, 16F, also a longtime friend, and she turned me down. Me being who I am was cool with it and just kind of pretended I never confessed in the first place. But the way she turned me down wasn't a simple no, She said she was lesbian and was quite self-conscious about it, hence never telling our friend group. That was another reason I was fine with the denial, since it was her sexuality, and I understand that since I already have a lot of gay friends on Discord and the such. But today I found out she started dating some guy, 17M. And I just straight up thought, damn. Would have been better if she had just turned me down normally compared to faking her sexuality. I am now wondering what to say to her when I see her in school tomorrow, as we have 3 classes together and I think it's just going to be awkward. Still think I dodged a bullet, but hurts since she's been a longtime friend and it just kind of feels like my trust in her is broken. Too long did not read. Confessed. Crush said she was lesbian. She started dating a guy a week later. Me sad. Don't even bother. Let it sort itself out. Just accept that people lie. Those people are not worth your time, and move on. Johnny, or whatever the other guy's name is, has got nice tits, don't you think? If she was willing to lie in order for her not to hurt you, it's better off not being with her. That relationship would have been asking for disaster. That's how life goes, kiddo. It'll pass. You are out of that drama now, why dive back in it? Just don't talk to her? Seems like a spit in the face what she did to you, so don't be her friend anymore. It's clear she doesn't see you with respect, as she lied right to your face, despite being longtime friends. Tell her what you explained here. I'm glad you tried to turn me down softly, but I am a bit hurt about you lying about being a lesbian and would have preferred it if you had just been honest with me. Please don't do things like that to me again, and then move on as friends if that is an option.